Hey, with another video. I just, as I was trucking this morning, came across a video about a young girl talking about the concept of heaven and her doubts with it. But basically, I was watching a video of a person talking about this video, and I did not agree with the pastor or the person doing this video. So I wanted to make my own spin on this. Not to say that people are going to agree with what I say, but the fact is, most of my life, at least my adult life, young adult life, I had struggles with the concept of heaven. I really struggle with the concept of heaven because, to think, what is perfection? What does it even look like to live a perfect life? But here's a problem with that. We're thinking that through a selfish, self-centered mindset. That's the crumb of it. That's the reality of it. We're thinking through a self-centered focus, and not to say when you think certain thoughts, I'm not calling you wrong. Okay, I'm gonna start off with that. You are not wrong to think certain things. You are not wrong, or I don't want you to feel like I'm condemning you or convicting you or anything like that. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. But some realities is for you to decide for yourself. Okay? I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to lift you up and inspire you to want to go to heaven. Because even though I doubted for many years, decades, heaven's going to be awesome. I'm going to tell you that. And do I know what heaven's going to be like? No. I probably know, I don't even know this much of heaven. I can't even measure it. It's not even a grain of sand of knowledge. Okay? I'm not going to tell you that I understand heaven. I still don't. But it's like this, I believe it's going to be like this analogy that I heard somewhat recently. It's like our time in our mother's womb. Can you really remember that? Can you remember being in a different realm of the soul, your soul? Can you remember your time that's in the soul realm? Can you remember what life was like in your mother's womb? Because you were fed, you were comforted, you heard voices, kind of, maybe not. You were protected. You had everything that you needed. And you only thought about yourself, You didn't have concepts of others. And that's what I'm about to talk about. Because we're concerned about, I think a lot of us are concerned if a loved one is going to be there in heaven and what life will be life without them. And you don't know. First of all, you don't know who's going to be in heaven or heaven. You don't know, okay? You don't know. And the worst mistake you can make, the worst possible mistake you can make is this: to fluff off heaven to go to hell because you think they're going to be there. What if they're not going to be there? What if you can't even talk to them in hell? What is going to be in hell is there's going to be torture. There's going to be pain. There's going to be suffering. There is no hope in heaven. There is no food. There's no water. There's not even air to breathe. You can't even breathe air. You're going to be like the entire eternity. Whether that's a metaphor forever, or God's going to have grace on you and burn you in the lake of fire. And then, I don't know. Okay? I do not know. 4 words. 4 words. And that's the concept you've got to know sometimes and be able to say, I do not know. 4 words. And that's a lot of things about in the Bible, and it's okay to not know. I tried to go for that again, but failed in that attempt. But still, we don't know what life is going to be like in heaven. Just like when we were in our mother's womb, we did not understand this realm. We did not understand earth. We did not understand walking. We didn't understand actually talking. We didn't understand our mother. We did not know who our mother was. We now we feel our presence and recognize that's our mother, that's our father. But we didn't know. We didn't understand that. But now you do. And now you can't live life without them. Just like in heaven, you're going to see God face to face. You're going to see Jesus. So your desire to sin is not going to be there. Okay? We have not understand what life would be like without sin, without evil. There is not going to be evil in heaven. To say, well, why did God create evil on this earth just so that we can have free will? Yeah, you have a free will in heaven, but you're not going to have that desire to be evil. That evil is not going to be there. I say, well, what if? Well, what if you do enjoy heaven? What if you do have the time of your life? What if you learn these new concepts, learn all this new technology? The technology that we see right now is only a small grain of sand of technology that's going to be in heaven. Far, far advanced technology and glitz and glamour. So you're going to be fully occupied in heaven. I promise you that. You're going to have hope. You're going to have love. You're going to have compassion. You're going to see a life that you have never seen before. Literally, a life that you've never seen before. And you're going to turn that away for what? So that you can have garbage for food? You're worried about some crappy ice cream? You're going to worry about some cheeseburger or some beer? I mean, yeah, it's enjoyable right now. That ice cream right now is enjoyable. I get it. I had some yesterday. And I'm probably going to have a beer this weekend. Maybe not. I'll have a different kind of drink. And it's okay. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. But who is Jesus. And I'm going to strive to serve Jesus. And I'm going to make mistakes. And I'm not trying to say that you're going to be perfect. But you can have that desire to live for Jesus. And that's what this world is all about. Living for Jesus. Not for yourself. To live for Jesus. And those desires that Jesus has is going to be part of you. Maybe this weekend, I'm going to decide, hey, you know what? I'm inspired to talk to people about Jesus. That's what I'm going to do. That'd be nice. Get past myself, get past my selfishness, get past my laziness, get past my inability to speak and communicate. That'd be amazing. I would love for that to happen. Or will it? I don't know. But it'd be nice if that did happen. And that's what heaven's going to be like. We don't know what our desires are going to be because we haven't gone past ourselves. We're so focused on ourselves that we can't see the future. We can't see what's in heaven because we're so wrapped up in ourselves. We're so wrapped up in the womb of this world. But guess what? One day, that water is going to break. And we're going to leave this world like we left our mom's womb. That quick. Boom. You're here. And then you're here, just like your mother's womb. And that analogy might be more than an analogy, okay? Literally, like almost, think about it. That analogy needs to be played out a little bit more. And I'm going to be thinking about that a little bit more. So hit me up if you really want to dive into that one. But I'm telling you this, though. We don't know. And it's okay to not know. But hell, you don't want to know. And that's the whole point of this video. Is to say, you know what? You don't have to go to hell. I'm warning you against hell. And just because you think hell is now, because you think you're being tortured now because you didn't get what you want, you're facing this and you're facing this struggle, you're facing that, and life all around you is just falling apart and you just feel like you just want to give up. Don't give up. You're here for a reason. to not give up. You're here to get to the next place, to get out of this realm, to get into the heavenly realm. You're here to be able to glorify God, and that you have air to breathe right now, that you're able to hear me. We should be thankful that we have one more day to bring one more person to Christ, one more person into the heavenly realm. We're one more day to say, you know what? I will follow Jesus. You're given that one more day, that one more second of air to breathe. That's grace. That's mercy. Because I don't deserve any of this. I lived a selfish life. I deserve hell. But guess what? Jesus paid that price for you so that you don't have to live in hell, to live separate from God. Why did God have to die for us? Because sin separates us from God. And why is there hell? Because God wanted a way so that it'd be so bad that you would turn from it. But guess what? You're turning to hell. You're turning because your desire is to have sex. Your desire is to drink a beer. Your desire is to smoke some weed. Just so that you can be tortured the rest of your eternal life? Really? Because your world right now is so bad, so horrendous, that you're willing to be tortured the rest of your life to not have air? Suffocate yourself for 2 seconds and really understand what no air feels like. Don't do that. Do not 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 do that, okay? But you are worth it. And you're going to make it. And I'm going to see you on the other side, the right side of heaven. And I want to see you in heaven. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see you in heaven. It's going to be worth it. I promise you. You're here for a reason. You're here for this video. You're here. You have made it to the end. God bless. Hit me up if you want to talk some more. Love you. Bye.